Hi guys, I hope you're all doing really well. I'm here today to do kind of a wrap up slash haul slash show you what I've got recently, because I've been a bit behind in filming videos because my life has just kind of gone a bit crazy. Last month I was doing pretty much nothing with my life, and now I'm volunteering twice a week. I'm going to London near enough every twice a month, and it's just gone a bit crazy, and it's taken a while for me to kind of settle down into a routine as such, and to kind of understand what I'm doing and when I'm doing it and all those kinds of things. So it's gone a bit manic. So I haven't really had time to film a video, but I'm here today to do that and make up for lost time. So I'm going to kind of do just a haul and show you what I've got to read, and I'm also going to tell you a little bit about what I'm reading at the moment and what I have just finished reading. So I'm going to start with the books I've got in the post. Now today this gorgeous book arrived, and it is called The Fairy Tale Hairdresser and Snow White. Now I appear to have won this from Random House, and I'm not going to lie, I'm not quite sure how I won it, what competition I entered, what I did to win it, but I'm really excited because I'm going to take this book with me into the Beanstalk school I'm working in this afternoon, because I'm sure that the kids will absolutely love this, especially the little girl I'm working with. She will love this book because she loves all that kind of fairy tale magic. So thank you so much to Random House for sending me this. It's beautiful. I've read the story actually. It's a really good story, and the illustrations are really, really beautiful as well, and there's glitter as well, which is always good because I do love a bit of glitter in a book. So thank you so much to Random House for sending me this one. I also got sent quite a few books from publishers this week, or over the past couple of weeks. The first one is from Titan Books, and it is Sherlock Holmes Gods of War by James Lovegrove. Now I'm not entirely sure what this kind of is. I think it's a spin-off series about Sherlock Holmes. And this is set in 1913, when Dr. Watson is visiting Sherlock Holmes at his retirement cottage near Eastbourne, when tragedy strikes. The body of a young man, Patrick Mallinson, is found under the cliffs of Beachy Head. So I think this is kind of set in the old Sherlock Holmes. This is not like the modern one with Benedict Cumberbatch and Martin Freeman that's set kind of in modern London. This is set way back when, in 1913. So I'm really looking forward to reading it, because apart from reading Arthur Conan Doyle Sherlock Holmes, I've never actually read kind of a spin-off or something that also involves the same characters. So I'm really looking forward to giving this one a go. So thank you so much for Titan for sending me that one. The next one I got sent is from Quercus, and it is called Only Ever Yours by Louise O'Neill. Now I absolutely adore the cover of this. Now this is what it's going to look like when it's actually finally published, and this is just like the proof copy. But this book sounds fantastic. This the blurb says Frida and Isabel have been best friends their whole lives. Now, aged 16 and in their final year at school, they expect to be selected as companions, wives to wealthy and powerful men. The alternative, life as a concubine, is too horrible to contemplate. But as the intensity of final year takes hold, the pressure to remain perfect becomes almost unbearable. Isabel starts to self-destruct, putting her beauty, her only asset, in peril. And then the boys arrive, eager to choose a bride. Frida must fight for her future, even if it means betraying the only friend, the only love she has ever known. And this says, sophisticated YA fiction with a huge crossover appeal for readers of John Green, Ali Condé, Margaret Atwood, Never Let Me Go and The Virgin Suicide. So I'm so looking forward to reading this, because I love John Green, I love Ali Condé, and I just think this sounds like it's going to be such an amazing book. This is published on the 7th of August, so there's still a little way to go, but I'm hoping to get it read and reviewed by then. So thank you so much to Quercus for sending me that one, it looks great. Then I got sent from Harper the new Lindsay Kelk, What a Girl Wants by Lindsay Kelk. I am so in love with Lindsay, and I loved About a Girl that she wrote last year. This is kind of, I think, the sequel to it. So I'm really, really looking forward to giving it a read. I'm not going to read the blurb, because if you haven't read the first one then it will kind of spoil it for you. And I think this is a final cover. I'm not entirely sure. This is a proof copy, but I think that this cover is going to be pretty much the same way it's published. So I'm really looking forward to giving this one a read. So thank you so much to Harper for sending me this one. Then from Quercus, also from Quercus, I got sent an unsolicited book, so I didn't know this was coming. I didn't ask for it, so I'm not quite sure what it's about, but it's called The Lullaby of Polish Girls by Dagmara Dominczewska. I'm really sorry, I can't pronounce the surname. But this blurb says, this is the story of three Polish girls, Anna, Justina and Camilla, born in a time of communism, bred on idyllic summers and separated by unforeseen circumstances. This is the journey of three women who have finally found their way back home to each other. This is a summer of upheaval, heartbreak and discovery. So I'm looking forward to giving this one a read. As I said, I didn't know anything about this book. I didn't even know it was going to be published. I've never heard of the author before. I don't know if this author's written anything else. Let me have a look. I wonder if it's going to say in the book somewhere. It doesn't say whether she's written anything else, so I'm guessing this could be a debut. So yeah, I'm looking forward to reading it. As I say, I don't know what it's about. I didn't really know, I didn't ask for it, so I'm not entirely sure that I'm going to enjoy it, but I am looking forward to reading it because the blurb sounds quite intriguing. So that is The Lullaby of Polish Girls. Thank you, Quercus, for that one as well. Oh, and hang on, more from Quercus. They sent me these two called Linked by imogenhouse and Unravel by imogenhouse. Now I think these are kind of a YA series. I think so. Yes, this was her first YA novel, and I believe this is kind of like, oh dear, like the sequel or the second in a series of books. So I'm not going to read the blurb for this one because I don't want to ruin it for myself and for you. But this one says, linked by blood, linked by fear, linked by a secret worth killing for. A compelling thriller from a talented debut author. Linked will take you beyond our world and leave you breathless. So I'm not entirely sure what it's about. That doesn't give too much away, but I'm kind of excited because I don't really want to know too much before I start reading. And I have to say, I'm not entirely sure whether I like this cover or not, and the same goes for Unravelled. As much as they are unique, I'm not entirely sure that I like them. But again, as you say, never judge a book by its cover, so they could be amazing books. So I'm really looking forward to giving those a go. So thank you again to Quercus for sending me those. And then the final book I was sent this week was also from Quercus. Quercus have been on fire this week. And this one I am so excited about. It's called The Visitors by Simon Sylvester. And I was emailed about this one and asked whether I wanted to review it, and I saw the cover and straight away I was like, yes, 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 I want to read this. So the blurb says, the island has always seemed such a safe place, such a friendly community. Now the possibility of a killer on Banchory is dangerously close to home. Nobody moves to the remote Scottish island of Banchory, and few leave, but leaving is exactly what 17-year-old Flora intends to do. So when a mysterious man and his daughter move into isolated Dog Cottage, Flo is curious. What could have brought these strangers to the island? The man is seductively handsome but radiates menace, and there's something about his daughter Alyssa that Flo can't help but feel drawn towards. People aren't only arriving on Banchory, they're disappearing too. Reports of missing islanders fill the press and unnerve the community. When a body washes ashore, suspicion turns to the newcomers on Dog Rock. Convinced of their innocence, Flo is fiercely determined to protect her friend Alyssa. Could the answer to the disappearances and to the pull of her own heart lay out there beyond the waves? So I'm really damn excited to read this one, so huge thank you to Quercus for sending me this. I believe this one might actually be already out because this is the hardcover, so I'm guessing that it's very close to publication. So I'll leave the links to all of the books down below if you want to go and check them out. Then also this week I went to London to a book launch for the lovely Alexandra Brown's book Ice Creams at Carrington's. It was a fantastic event, so many lovely people there, and I also met my lovely friends, my blogging friends Megan, Victoria and Kirsty, and we all did kind of a little bit of a book exchange because sometimes we've all got double copies of something or we've read something, we want the other people to read it, so we did a bit of a swap. The lovely Kirsty gave me this book, which doesn't really tell you much because this is a proof, but it's called Tease, and this is published by Hodder, and this is already out, but this is about a bully and it's seeing life from a bully's perspective. The blurb says Emma Putnam is dead and it's all Sarah Wharton's fault. At least that's what everyone seems to think when Sarah, along with her best friend and 3 other classmates, are criminally charged with the bullying and harassment that led to Emma's shocking suicide. But Emma brought it on herself. Emma stole Sarah's boyfriend. Emma stole everyone's boyfriends. Surely Sarah was the victim, not Emma. Thought-provoking, polarising, important. Tease is the must-read debut of 2014. So really looking forward to this. Kirsty absolutely loved this book. She said she really enjoyed it. And this is basically telling the story of what happened from the bully's perspective, which is really interesting because so often we read fiction that's from the loner's perspective or the individual's perspective or the person who doesn't really fit in with the crowd. So to read it from the different perspective of the person that's perhaps doing the bullying will be really interesting, and I'm kind of wondering whether I'm going to side with the bully, which is going to be quite a scary thing to go through, to side with somebody that could perhaps be doing something really wrong. So really looking forward to giving that one a read. So thank you so much, Kirsty, for letting me have this. Then the wonderful Megan also gave me 2 books. Now this one is, the first one she gave me is Love Letters to the Dead by Ava Deleria, I think that's how you say it. Now this was passed to Megan from Kirsty and Megan passed it to me, and I'll probably end up passing it to Victoria once I've done as well. This, I'm not entirely sure what it's about all that much. I read the first couple of pages on the coach back from London and it was kind of a bit intriguing. The blurb says, sometimes the best letters go unanswered. It begins as an assignment for English class. Write a letter to a dead person. Laurel chooses Kurt Cobain. He died young, and so did Laurel's sister May. so maybe he'll understand what Laurel is going through. Soon, Laurel is writing letters to lots of dead people: Janis Joplin, Heath Ledger, River Phoenix, Amelia Earhart, Amy Winehouse. It's like she can't stop. She writes about her new high school, her new friends, her first love, and her shattered life. But the ghosts of Laurel's past can't be contained between the lines of a page forever. She must face up to them before they consume her. So I kind of think this is going to be like lots of letters, and through the letters we learn more about our main character and what she's going through and her struggles and where she's come from. So I'm really actually quite looking forward to giving it a read. I've heard mixed opinions about it, so I'm intrigued to find out about it. So yeah, that's going to be an interesting book. So thank you to Megan and Kirsty for giving me this one. And then the final book I also got from the lovely Megan, and it is called Lost and Found by Tom Winter. Now, I've seen this book around for a long time, and I've really wanted to read it, but I've never really had the chance to pick it up. So when Megan said she had a few books that she wanted to know if we wanted to read, I was like, yeah, I'd love to read this one. So thank you, Megan, for letting me read this. This blurb says 2 ordinary lives, 1 extraordinary story. It's hard for Carol to admit her failings. Unhappy in her marriage and with a teenage daughter who will barely converse with her, she feels trapped. So she puts pen to paper. Well, it seems less daunting than airing her thoughts aloud. She isn't expecting anyone to read her letters, so she doesn't address them. Instead, she marks them with a smiley face and pops them in the postbox. Albert's retirement day at the Royal Mail looms, and he's given one final task: organise the lost letters that have been piling up in a room behind the sorting machine. Among the letters addressed to Santa, he arrives at one with a smiley face drawn in the place of an address. Albert opens the letter, unaware that in doing so, his world will never be the same again. Lost and Found is a story of 2 ordinary people brought together through a series of unforgettable letters. So I'm genuinely really excited about reading this, and I adore the cover as well. I think it's so pretty. So huge thank you to Megan for sending me this. And then finally, another book I was sent this week is called Black Box by Cassia Leo. Now, I'm not going to read the blurb because I haven't actually read the blurb myself yet. I'm actually reading it at the moment. I'm not very far in. I'm only on chapter 5, but I wanted to go into this book blind because I didn't want to know too much about what was going to happen. And so far it is actually fantastic, and I'm really loving it. This comes out in July, so not too far to go, so I'm definitely going to be reviewing this. But this is marketed as not just another love story, and it's kind of like a YA fiction, NA fiction. So I'm so looking forward to finishing this and reviewing it. And as I say, I'm reading it at the moment and I'm loving it so far. So I can't wait to carry on and finish this one. So that is all the books that I've been sent this week. So thank you so much to all of the publishers and friends and authors and everybody who sends me posts. It's so lovely to receive it. At the moment I'm also reading a few books. I'm reading Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire, which is the 4th book in the Harry Potter series. I'm really loving it so far. I've only got about 100 pages in, and at the moment I'm still we haven't got too much into the story yet. There's quite a lot of world building and scene filling and kind of a lot of foreshadowing, so I'm looking forward to carrying on with that one. I'm also reading a book called Him by Cecilia Scott, which is like an erotic fiction novel. For a long time I've been trying to find an erotic fiction novel I can really enjoy and get into, and it's been really hard because a lot of them are kind of really BDSM, or they're quite the woman is very kind of controlled, and it's quite hard to find a book that's got a bit of a different balance to it. And I'm reading that one and I'm quite enjoying it because even though the female in it is still quite controlled by the man, she's you know, he's not in the sense of making her do stuff that she doesn't want to, and it's quite an interesting book. And I also read a really fantastic erotic fiction novella recently called Reasonable Doubt, and I can't quite remember the name of the author. I think her name was Whitney Grace Garcia, I think that was her name. I'll leave a link in the description below. And it was only 77p, and I thought, oh, okay, I'll read it for 77p, and it was phenomenal. I absolutely adored it. So if you're looking for a good erotic read, then I suggest that one. It's really quick, but so good, and the premise is fantastic, the plot's really good, and the way the story unravels is amazing. So you definitely have to give that one a go. And what else am I reading at the moment? I'm reading The Mysterious Bakery on Rue de Paris by Evie Gorn, which I am part of the blog tour for this week, so I will also leave a link to that in the description below so you can go and check that one out. I'm only a little way in so far, so it's still a little bit difficult to work out whether I'm going to enjoy it or not, but it is interesting so far. So that, I think, is everything I've got to show you. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and being patient while I've had a crazy time and I'm still trying to find all the things that I need to do and work out what I need to do with my time. So I will definitely be uploading more regularly. So yeah, thank you for watching this video, guys, and I hope you have a fantastic week, and I will see you again very soon. Bye!